Yes. Happy morning, children. Hope you all are doing good. Okay. So in the last sessions, we were seeing about the economics second chapter, people as resource. But anyhow, you have got the periodic assessment in the coming week. So that's the reason, let's wind up the chapter there only and let's go for recapitulation or the revision in this session. Okay. Once you complete your periodic assessment, let us just continue with the same chapter. Okay, children? Today we'll see the revision part of your last, the portion, your periodic assessment portion. Yes. Let us see the portion, that is, the first chapter, the story of village, Palampur from your economics, and the second chapter is India, size and location. That is your geography, first chapter, and then coming to the civics, we have got two chapters. Okay, one it is democracy in the contemporary world, and the one more it is what is democracy and why democracy. Okay. So as I told you people, today we'll just go for a brief, the revision, not in detail. So hope you all studied all the chapters and we have, wrote even the test for these three chapters, but not for what is democracy and why democracy. Guys, go through the entire chapter because it is, entirely a multiple choice question answers you are going to write. You are not going to write any descriptive answers. So it will be very difficult for you people. So that's the reason, study the entire lesson, the line by line. And as I informed you people earlier, you have to make your own notes. So then it will be easy for you people. Okay, fine children. The first, let us see the first chapter, that is the story of village Palampur. Once you remember or once you re-glance about this chapter, what and all the concept will pop up to your mind, children? Yes, very good. Then, yeah. So in this chapter, mainly we saw about factors of production. Yes or no, children? That is very much important in this chapter. Okay, fine. Let us just go for the brief revision of this chapter. Yes. The features. So what are the features of that particular village, children? So as we know, it is an imaginary village. We have taken took an example. It's an imaginary village where it has got all these facilities. For example, it has got well-developed road and transport facilities. And then it has got irrigation facilities. So what do you mean by irrigation facilities, children? So it has got even, for the agricultural, that is the modern methods of agriculture also, they have involved. Okay, like HYV seeds, high yield variety seeds, and then tube wells, bore wells, fertilizers, pesticides, like that the modern methods of agriculture also they were using. In the next one, we can see that it has got electricity facilities also. The entire village has got the electricity facilities. Along with that, it has got, yes, 2 primary schools and 1 high school facility. Education is also good in that particular village. And then health center, the primary healthcare center, and even the dispensary system was also there in that particular village. So by these, by seeing all these features, we understood that the village Palampur was a well-developed village. Okay, children. And the next one is, this is very much important. Guys, remember the 4 factors of production. So what are the factors of production, children? Yes, very good. That is land, labor, and then physical capital or human capital. So, the land is very much important, labor, human capital, that we call it as a human resource, and then the physical capital has been divided into 2 types. One, it is the fixed capital, and one more it is working capital. So, in the coming, the next continuation of this chapter, we have discussed about all these factors of production, how it has been used in this village. Okay, in this village, how all these factors of production has been applied or used. Let us see that. Yes. So we know that the 70% of the people who lives in this, the village were entirely depend on agriculture. Okay. So we can see there are two category of people. One it is the rich people and the one more it is poor people. They will be considered as a Dalits. So those people will be living in a corner of a village. Okay. So they will not be having any, the land facilities, and they do not own the land, much land. So land is fixed. As we know what happens, children, whatever the land is available, we can't expand that land. Okay, land is fixed, and is there a way that one can grow more from the same land? So what happens, children? Of course, with the same availability of piece of land, they can grow much. How? Yes, by using the modern methods of agriculture. That is what here they are explaining. That is, see, they started to use the high yield variety seeds, fertilizers, pesticides and irrigation facilities, started to use canals, pump sets and other machineries. So through that what happens? Of course, the yield will be more. Okay. And then, will the land sustain? Yes, of course the land sustain if you people use a proper, the utilization of the machineries. But if you overuse it, what happens? The land will become, yes, the soil degradation will be there, or the overusage of a water or overusage of a fertilizers leads to soil degradation. And how is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur? So as we know, the many people we can see in this picture, the few people have got, yes, the good number of land, but the few people we can see a piece of land, very small plots of land they have got. That one, who will provide the labor? So here what happens, children? The maximum people depends on agriculture for their livelihood, but they didn't have any land. So those people, what happened? There was a huge competition for job. Okay. So that time what happened? The people or the labor were ready even to work for very less wages, even compared to the minimum wages which has been fixed by the government. Okay, so that is the reason, there the laborers were paid very less due to high competition. Okay, and the next one it is the capital needed in farming. So how they used to use the money, or how they used to invest the capital. That is, the few people used to borrow or take the money from some money lenders, or they'll be having some own savings. Okay, sale of the surplus farm products. The excess of whatever the products or the crops they'll be having, they used to keep for their entire family for the whole year, and the remaining crops they used to sell in the market. Okay, hope you people understood, no children? And the next one it is non-farming activities in Palampur. So we can see some other kinds of activities apart from agriculture also the people were engaged. So it is like dairy farming, transportation. So once in the beginning only we understood that the Palampur is well connected with the roads. Okay. So the transportation, the varieties of transport modes they were using, and then small scale manufacturing activities. The few women and the other men were involved even in the small manufacturing activities, the small scale activities, and the shopkeepers. Okay, so by this concept or this things you people understood about the story of village Palampur. Okay, just reglance all those things and go through your entire textbook, children. Okay, if any doubts, you just let me know. And the next one is about your geography first chapter, that is India's size and location. So this is very much important, children. So this is the basic things you people should know about our country. Okay, where it's located and what is about the size of our India. Okay. Yes, children, the location of India. See here. And you people know to distinguish or differentiate between latitudes and the longitudes. Yes or no, children? So just guys go through the once again, because when I started this chapter, I have deeply explained about latitudes, longitudes, and then prime meridian of India, and then the difference between the time lag. Okay, so the longitude is based, the main base for the time changes, why the time will be different from a country to country or the place to place. Okay, so that one, because there is a gap between each longitude, it will be of 4 minutes to cover from one longitude to another longitude. So that's the reason there will be a time lag. So that everything you people have to go through the video, the original video of this chapter, the beginning. Okay, and then you go through your textbook once again, the longitude and the latitudes. Okay, so 0 degree latitude we call it as equator, and the 0 degree longitude we call it as prime meridian. So here India located in the northern hemisphere only, the completely India located in northern hemisphere. Okay, guys, don't get confused, just understand the concept. In the test, many people got confused and they have wrote the longitude and the latitude, where India is exactly located. You people got confused. Okay, the longitude is about 68 degree east to 97 degree east. Okay, but latitude it's about, yes children, yes, 6 degree north to 37 degree north. Okay, 8 degree north to 37 degree north. See, clear with this picture? So hope you guys understood. India is completely located in the northern hemisphere, and coming to the longitude, it is 68 degree east to 97 degree east, and coming to the latitude, 8 degree north to 37 degree north. Yes. In the next one, we can see about the, the size of our India, and it is a 7th largest country of our, the world, that you have to just go through that. Okay, and the standard meridian, that you have to just understand why there is a time lag between the Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, that you have to go through. That there is a 2 hours time lag between Arunachal Pradesh and the Gujarat. So what is the main reason? That you have to go through, children. Okay. Yes. See here. So India's total area accounts for about 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. So compared to if it is the 100% overall world, we have got only 2.4% out of that. Okay. The rest of the world, is about 97.6%. Yes. And the next one, we can see that, the roots, the India is connected with the many other countries, that you have to go through. And then here we can see about, the land and even the water of, the boundary of our India. Okay, land boundary and the water boundary, that you have to just refer in your textbook. And along with that, the India and its neighboring countries, that you just go through, children. Okay, in the north side we can see, northeast we can see about the Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, China, Nepal, all those countries. And coming to the northwest, it is about Pakistan, okay, Afghanistan. And coming to the down, we can see about China, Myanmar, all those countries. Okay, and you have to go through about the, yes, union territories of our country. Okay, just go through all these things. So you have to see about India's latitude and longitude. You have to understand prime meridian, why there is a 2 hours time gap between, time lag between, yes, Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, that you have to see, and the prime meridian of our country, that you have to go through. Okay, so once you people understood India and its neighbor, you can go through, children. If any doubts, guys, you just let me know. Okay, once you just go through the entire concept of this chapter. This is very much simple, easy. Once you just understand, then it will be easy for you. Okay, fine children.